can see, I am about to do the ultimate mask with flaxseed, kelp, aloe vera, and powdered sea moss. Let's get it. So I'm using this water essentially. I'm using about 2 cups of water, 2 cups. And the flax seeds, I'm going to use about 1.5 cups of flax seeds. And I have this sifter. This sifter has done so much for me. And so that's about 1.5 cups of flax seeds in the water. And the water is starting to boil. So I'm going to bring that down to a simmer, okay? As you guys can see, it's simmering. About a low, medium, about a medium low. And it's starting to thicken up, but let's look at this kelp. This is all the benefits and everything that it speaks about. And I want you guys to focus on the nutritional facts, which the potassium. And I want you guys to see the potassium. Look at the potassium, and then once we scroll down a little bit, look at the iodine. Yes. Yes, so now what we're going to do is take some of the kelp. I took about a 1.5 leaves, and I put in my daughter's blender, her baby bullet, and it blended just fine. It didn't come out like real tiny, but you know, it worked. So it's starting to thicken up a little bit more. I've let it simmer for a good 20 minutes, honestly. And let's go ahead and put these flakes. These are just kelp flakes. Now you can buy the powder, but I'm just going to use the kelp flakes because I'm doing everything as natural as possible, and it's organic, by the way, if you didn't see that on the package. Some of the things I have are organic. So this aloe vera came from my 11-year-old plant that I've had. So I love it. She's been growing for 11 years, and I'm going to take this portion, the inside, and I used a spoon to scoop it out. So as you can see, I scooped it all out. I used 2 leaves, 2 aloe vera leaves. And as you can see, it's nice and jelly. So now it's boiling, and we're going to turn that off. And now we're going to blend. And it only took about 1 blend to actually blend the aloe vera. And now I'm putting it in the sifter because there were some pieces that I didn't cut off all the way. And plus, I just want to make this as creamy as possible. I didn't want any big chunks or anything. So now we're going to let this, the flaxseed, cool down for a good 20 minutes. Actually, I let it cool down for about 10 minutes. I don't want it to cool down all the way, and I'll show you why. So now we're going to use 3 teaspoons of the Irish moss. And I only use 3 because that's all you need in regards to this. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and so just mix that in. So now we have the kelp, we have the aloe vera, and then we have the sea moss so far, and it's getting pretty thick. So I am definitely going to add a little tiny bit of water. I did not want to add as much moisture to this. I wanted everything to be as naturally, you know, moist as possible from its own moisture, but I needed to add just a couple drops of water so it can marry together properly. So I'm just going to mix that, bring everything together, and just mix it. So this is how it looks so far. It's really frothy. So yes, we're going to get ready to pour this. I didn't want it to solidify too much because I wouldn't be able to sift it the way that I would like. So don't let it cool off 100%. Let it cool down for at least 10 minutes. It's still going to be hot. It's still going to be very warm at 10 minutes. And I want it to be that warm so it won't be too thick to go through the sifter. Okay, so don't let it cool down too much. So here we go. Here's the sifter. As you guys can see, the majority of it has gone through, or it's dripping through, I should say. So it won't be so hard to sift. And yeah, so make sure that you press down so you can get all that goodness of the flax seeds out. Like, this is going to be like the best ultimate mask. I promise you. I've already done it for 7 days already, and I am so pleased at the results, and I'm going to keep using it every day. But yeah, make sure you press it down. If you have a cheesecloth, or if you have some pantyholes, brand new pantyholes, that will work just as fine. But I didn't feel like using anything with my hand, so as far as pressing down, like with how you do with the pantyhose or the cheesecloth and squeezing, so I said, let me go ahead and use this because I didn't want to touch it, you know. Even though my hands are clean, I just wanted to try to make this to where, you know, I'm not going to put any germs or anything in the mixture and on my face. So this is pretty much it. All I'm doing right here is just sifting it through, and it's working out just fine. And I try to get as much of it as I can, and so this is the result of that, which is quite a lot. And I definitely didn't need any more water for that. The flaxseed gel works just fine to get everything married together and mixed together. So it's working out just fine as far as it mixing together. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, and it smells like the ocean. So now I want you guys to see that I used the 91% alcohol inside of the jar that I'm going to be putting my mask in, because again, we don't want any germs or anything inside the jar to transfer over into our face. And I'm just going to use this cake decorator to squeeze into the container that I have. And everything was pretty easy. This is probably one of the easiest things that I've made in a very long time. It was fun. It was easy. I feel like I'm at the ocean. I smell the water. I smell the salt water. Everything just smelled so good. So now I'm going to get ready to squeeze all of this into the jar that I have. Just a leftover jar from some herbs that I had a while ago. So just so you guys know, I did squeeze as much as I could, but I think the flakes kind of clogged it up. And I was like, okay, it stopped. So what I'm going to do is be innovative and just flip it over and squeeze it from the top. That worked out just fine. So here you guys see, this is the product. It's inside the jar, and I'm going to get ready to get on camera so you guys can see the goodness of this mask. Doesn't it look great? No? Okay, that's okay. It feels great, and trust me, it doesn't look appealing, but I'm going to tweak this to where it does. So yeah. This is a mask applicator that I had from some other masks that I bought from Target. And this is Shea Moisture's African Black Soap Bamboo Charcoal Detoxifying foaming facial mask. I love it, I love it, I love it. And then I'm going to use the Bliss Watermelon for the astringent. This works good on my face. It's not harsh and it smells so good. I love this. Yes, you guys, so this is my face, and the camera is not doing justice, but I want you guys to look at my texture. My texture is not as smooth. Again, I have hyperpigmentation. Look at my texture, you guys. Now, I don't know if that's really from the camera. No, it's not from the camera. This is my texture. And look at the hyperpigmentation that's on my chin. That's what I will be focusing on. And hopefully this will help with the texture. Not so much my complexion, but the texture. I want my texture to be smooth out. I will be using this once a day for 6 days. I use the Vanity Planet's face, I think it's called an exfoliator. I've had it for about 3-4 years now, so it works wonders, and you guys will see that for sure. So wet your face with warm water and make sure your hands have been washed before, because you're getting ready to get this dirt off your face. Yes, you guys can see I am getting ready to put the foam on to the Vanity Planet's face scrubber, exfoliator, I should say. And this works so good. It works really, really well. They have one that is more abrasive. They have one that's like a massager. This is like the one that's in between those two. And it works so good. And I'm going to show you guys how good it worked. That is all the dirt that was on my face, you guys. Yuck. So I rinse my face off with warm water, and then I rinse it with cold water. And why do we do that? So your pores can close. You don't want any open pores, and you pat dry your face. Preferably with a paper towel, but if you have a clean towel, that's even better. So now I'm going to use my Watermelon Bliss watermelon because it's made with watermelon. And this is not like a cooling sensation, but after using the wash, it does bring some moisture back to your face. And look, you guys, even though I used that exfoliator, I still had dirt underneath my skin. Yes, so you want to make sure you get all the dirt off before you use this mask. And then after that, I need a fan, but I usually dry my face like this so my pores can close while it's still damp. So as you can see, the mask is really creamy, it's rich, it's no. The only thing that's really so-called lumpy is the kelp, which is fine, but everything else is aloe vera and the flaxseed. The flaxseeds, I should say. So let's put this mask on and see how it goes. Look at this. I said I had to do a slow-mo on this. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? And all that goodness, all those minerals are going on my face. So I was going to speak on this part, but my daughter, she was right there by my legs whining because she wants her mommy as always. So I'm going to let you guys know this. The thinner, the better. This is my first day, and as you guys can see, I am laying it on really thick, and I don't suggest you do it that way because it's going to take so much longer for it to dry. And some people dry with a fan, some people air dry. I sat in front of the fan because it was taking too long, but I recommend that you put a thin layer on and just let it air dry, because it's going to dry, it's going to harden up, and you don't want to take forever for it to dry. You're trying to get this done, whether you're going to be doing this in the evening or in the morning or both. Either way, we don't have a whole bunch of time to be wasting waiting for a mask to dry. So the thinner you put it on, as long as you have that coverage, you cover all the spots and mainly the places where you want on your face, that's what's going to make a difference as far as the dry time if you put it on as thin as possible. Yeah, I was doing the most because I was like, I want it to work. And I put on way too much the first time. Pulp, Aloe Vera pulp. And again, you guys, I have all of this down here. I'm gonna get some on my neck as well. All of this, I have hyperpigmentation. So I'm gonna let this dry and I will be back once it dries. So this is how it looked when I got done. Looks kind of gross, but hey, it is what it is. And this is the side view. Yeah, I put on way too much, you guys. And this is the other side. That is ridiculous. But again, put it on as thin as possible. Yeah, I was doing the most, y'all. Okay, so it's been about maybe 10 minutes and it is drying. I notice it kind of feels cool, has a cool sensation. Doesn't feel like much of anything, it just feels really cool. I don't feel any burning, I don't have any burning sensations, I don't have any tingling. It's just a cool sensation, especially when I start walking, it just feels nice and cool. So I'm going to let it completely dry. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to let it completely dry. I don't know how long that's going to be. I guess it's just going to depend on how thick or thin you put the mask on. And then I guess from there, you know, you rinse and then use your moisturizer. But yeah, this is definitely not dry yet. But I am going to let it dry and I will be back. Yes, you guys, if you hear any birds or anything in the background, it's because I stepped outside to get some vitamin D. But this is my mask and it's just about dry. As you guys can see, it dries pretty good. Even if you put on a thin layer, it's just going to dry really fast, you guys. Almost done. You see that little patch right there? It's just about done. Just about dry. I waited till it fully dried so I can see how it feels. Yes, and right here it's 100% fully dried. Yes, it's very cracky, but guess what, you guys? I'm gonna show you how it looks first day. Now, I noticed that when I kept trying to get it off, it wasn't coming off even with the warm water. So you definitely are going to have to use some type of facial cloth, clean, okay? Something brand new, hasn't been used, clean cloth to get this mask off, because it was just, I guess I reactivated it with the water. So make sure that you use a cloth, and that's what I'm saying right here in the video, to get this off your face. And it's coming right off. There it is. Yep. Use that and you should be good to go. So pretty much on this part, I was just speaking about using warm to cool water to rinse your face off, and try to be as gentle as possible with that cloth. You don't want to pull at your face. So use cool to warm to cool to get all of the rest of the mask off, and try to be as gentle as possible. So this is the ending result of me rinsing my face, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but in a minute I'm going to show you guys the first day results, and then I'm going to use more cool water to rinse. But look, you guys, this is day 1, and I'm going to show you some pictures of just me using it for the first time, but not before I use my moisturizer, Shane Moisture's African black soap charcoal, black charcoal, the moisturizer. And I can't wait to show you guys the pictures from the first day. This is just the first day, you guys, and I'm already seeing, you guys can already see the results of my texture already changed. Already. And this is just day 1. And then my face was so smooth and soft throughout the day. You guys, watch. If your face isn't smooth and to the touch, and I'm not speaking to people who have skin issues. I'm talking about, you know, us who don't have too much skin problems. But look, you can see the difference. And this is just the first day. I was tripping. I was like, oh my God, this works. And I'm going to show a side-by-side picture of when I first started and then these pictures in just a second. But look, you guys, this is day 1. Day 1. My goodness. So, you guys, this is the side-by-side comparison. As you can see, you see the nice glare, but I wanted you guys to look at the texture real quick. The texture looks really good. This is day 2, and as you guys can see, I really made it to where it was thin. I put a thin layer on. It took about really like 10 minutes, literally about less than 10 minutes to dry. Last time it took about 20, and I had to sit in front of a dryer, but it took too long on day 1. But day 2, I got my act together and I did it right. And I'm using another cloth. This is a brand new clean cloth. I suggest you use white clean cloths to wipe your face off, and that's pretty much it. And then of course at the end, rinse with cold water to close those pores. Okay, so this is my face right after I rinsed off the mask. This is day 2. So what I usually do is I fan my face. It's still a little tiny bit damp. I always fan my face. I need to get like one of those little fans. And so my pores can close. I always rinse my face with cold water. I mean, the water is freezing too, so, and that helps with closing of the pores. Okay, let me put some moisturizer on. Okay, so I have the moisturizer on now. Face feels so much better. I mean, I see you can see that shine, that glare that's like right here in this area that's there, which I think is good because it's just a symbol of, I guess, healthiness. I don't know. But so this is day 2, and I'll take some pictures. All right, you guys, when I tell you my face is soft, I don't even know how to express it. It's so, and I mean soft to the touch. Look at my texture. Nothing compared to day 1. I'm on day 2, and I even notice a little bit of the hyperpigmentation subsided just a little bit, especially on the sides of my chin, which is the area that I was focusing on. But I'm really, honestly, I'm really focusing on texture. But look, even a little bit on my chin, you guys, I'm looking at it and I said, compared to day one, it's slightly different. Slightly different. But I mean, you get a judge. You can see, you can go back and scroll back and see day one pictures. And I try to get it as true as possible. You know, not a whole bunch of fake light, but, you know, I try to use natural light. All right, you guys, this is day 3. And day 3 taught me a lot. And the reason why it taught me a lot is because day 3 was the day where I said I needed to rest my face. My face as far as scrubbing. Now, let me just make this clear. I did not use my Vanity Planet exfoliator every single day. Okay, I used my fingers, my hands for the next 3 to 4 days, and then after those 3 to 4 days, I use the exfoliator. Because if you exfoliate too much, it can really damage your skin. But here we go. There's the thin layer of the mask I put on. It dried in like 10 minutes as usual when you put on the thin layer, and I was good to go. Here I go again with another clean cloth. And this might be also the reason why my face was a little bit stressed, but I will show you guys what that is. I believe it's on this day or day 4, but this is day 3, so we're gonna see. I'm doing a voiceover, so I'm not 100% sure what day it fell on, but make sure that you guys are really gentle with your face. Unfortunately, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very harsh on my face, and that's probably one of the reasons why I have certain issues like texture, which that's all I'm really worried about. The hyperpigmentation doesn't worry me too much, but it's the texture. You know, I don't like that leathery looking skin, and it just doesn't look right on anybody's skin. So I am just going to make sure I get all of this off. And as you can see, I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. But when you're using this type of cloth every day, it can be kind of abrasive, even though I'm not scrubbing or, you know, doing anything invasive. But even just wiping your skin with this type of cloth with warm water or cool water, it still can do some harshness to your skin. So try to be good to your skin. It's just kind of hard to rinse this off because it's so thick. Even the thin layer, it's really thick. So meaning it's not going to just be water that gets this off. Okay, you got to use something. So I got to think of a way to get it off without using the cloth eventually so much. Or maybe even in the shower, that might help. Just letting the water rinse off your face. I'm doing this over the sink to do the video, so perhaps if I just do it in the shower and just rinse my face off with water there, it will do some good. So, but that's to be determined. But for now, I'm using this washcloth. Okay, so as you guys can see, I used a paper towel to dry my face a little bit, and that's when I was just like, I need to do something that's less abrasive, and that's when I started using the paper towels to dry my face off. It was still a little damp, so I went ahead and I do my fanning like I always do. And then now I'm going to add my moisturizer, which I love because it's very light, but it moisturizes the heck out of my face. I love the Shea Moisture's Black African Soap Charcoal Moisturizer, and also the foaming soap. So both of those were good for me. guys, on to day 4. Now I showed you guys the mask dried. Now I'm showing you it wet, how it looks, how thin the layer looks when I do put it on my face, so you guys can get a glimpse on how it looks when it's wet but a thin layer. Yeah, so here I am again. I ran out of white cloth, so I had to use what I had, and I am going to rinse with cool to warm water, and then of course I'm going to use the cold water to close my pores, to close and seal up those pores. Let's go ahead and get this done. Okay, so I am rinsing with cold water, and I mean it's winter time and the water is freezing, y'all, so it's perfect. Alright, so this is my face after I just rinsed, and I want you guys to notice a few things. These little spots on my nose are scars. These little spots on my nose are scars. I believe it's because I might be scrubbing too hard, or it could be dead skin coming off because of what I'm doing. And then I have a couple of spots on my chin, and those are scars too. So I believe it's just my skin peeling and healing, but for the most part, and this camera doesn't do justice. I wish I had another camera, but let me see. Alright, so here is my chin I was telling you about. One was right here, but it's gone a day later. This one is right here. This one is right here. And it's gone. It's I can feel it. I know you guys can see it anyway. And then my nose. Like those little spots, those are like kind of like sores. I'm wondering if those were pimples and they're healing. And it look, I know you guys see that. It looks like my skin is a couple different colors right here. And this feels, my whole face feels soft. I don't have any moisturizer on. Let me put some moisturizer on. Okay, so yeah, you guys, I just want to do some more close-ups on my face. My texture has improved, and in a minute or in a second, you guys are going to see those spots. I just want to point it out on my nose. And this is regular sunlight, true light. And look at my nose. You can see those spots, which they actually did. They went away the next day, you guys. So I think it was just my skin healing from, you know, pimples on my face. So, sorry if you guys hear my daughters in the background. They're getting ready to get up and go to school, but yeah, so I had to take a break like one day just to make sure that my face isn't, not pulling on my face too much. I could use the mask, well, I could cleansed without doing any exfoliating. I only do that about twice. Because I don't want to over exfoliate and, you know, irritate my skin or pull at my skin too much. But today was one of those days. I washed with my hands, and then I used my astringent with a paper towel because I ran out of cotton pads. But I used a paper towel, which is fine. And I'll show you guys some pictures because this, unfortunately, even with changing the resolution on here a little bit, it really doesn't do its justice, and I'm not this shade that the video is picking up. So the camera actually picks up a lot better with what the essence of my skin actually looks like and the tone. But I am still impressed about what it's doing, and if it's doing this for my skin after how many days it's been, then absolutely I believe it'll do the same for you. Okay. So if you have any skin issues, you're going to see your face going through some changes, and my face definitely did. Those 2 scars that were on my nose and on my chin literally went away the next day. And this is a full view of my face, and my texture has completely changed, and I am going to be using this. Look at my chin, you guys. That scar is gone. Literally disappeared. Alright, this is the last and final day, and I just wanted you guys to see my skin. Look at the texture. Again, a little tiny bit of the hyperpigmentation went away. Just a little bit, and I'm sure if I continue on doing what I'm doing that it's going to improve. And yes, I am going to do a part 2 to this video. Look at my skin, you guys. Total improvement. I don't even know what to say right now, but if you haven't tried this, which more than likely you haven't, go ahead and give it a go. Look at my skin, you guys. Look at how it actually panned out. Like 6 days of this was super duper great. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure you subscribe. But this is probably going to go down in history as one of the best masks that I've done for myself, and I am going to continue to do it. Again, this is day 6, and just imagine what it's going to look like in a month from now. Like, I'm definitely going to do a part 2 to this video, and I'm going to tweak the ingredients just a little bit, not switch them out, but I'm going to change the way that they are. Instead of the kelp flakes, I'm going to do powder. I'm going to pulverize it and or purchase it organic powder, just so you guys know. But anyway, that's going to be for another video. But look at my skin, you guys. Look at my nose. Look how shiny it is. Oh my goodness. If you have not tried this, make sure you guys try it. Tag me, shout me out, let me know how it went for you, and look out for part 2 to this video. But I'm just amazed. I'm about to show you guys day 1 compared to day 6 pics in just a moment. I hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe.